Hi everybody, I'm glad to be back. Hopefully you'll enjoy this video. It's been a really long time, so as usual, I'm a talker. So if that's not your thing, this might not be the video for you. I did want to share this completed journal with you. This is something I started years ago, and because of what's happened, since I quit doing YouTube videos until now, I decided that it was time to finish it. I had all the signatures done for years, and then, kind of put things away, stuffed everything in boxes, kept most of my stuff, but I was convinced I was done. However, I love to craft. Do you guys know this? And anyway, I decided that it was time to finish this, and I will fill you in at the end of the video after the flip through to let you know the different things that have been going on. And so if you don't want to stay for that, you're welcome to leave. But in the meantime, I will show you this one. It's not 100% done. There's a few things, like I haven't done the closure. This is just the top part, but I haven't done how I'm going to keep that closed. I also haven't Mod Podged it. Normally when I'm done all my mixed media, I do a Mod Podge to seal everything. I haven't done that yet, but I'll let you know the things that I use. So first off, the cover is built with craft text, and I've had this for a coon's age, and I love it. I love this stuff. It's like a paper fabric, so it can be wet, and it actually gives a really cool texture after it's been wet and then dried. I did not do that with this one, but yeah, if you have some, try it out. I love this stuff. You can use it for so many different things. The book itself is, I think it's 5.5 inches this way, 8.5, and then 2.5 inch spine. It's a big spine. And as you can see, I did the cross stitch. Now, I had no intention of doing this elaborate a cross stitch, but like I said, it's been a long time since I crafted, so I kind of messed up a little bit. Now, having said that, I don't believe there's anything that can't be fixed. I don't mind that it's very busy. That's fine. However, with so many holes, you can see the little white where you're punching, trying to get your needle through and stuff, and you lift the paper and you end up with white. So what I plan on doing is just little dots of stickles down the middle and down both sides. And that will cover up that whiteness, and it will glam it up a little bit. So I've done nothing to the back. Normally I do something like embossed or whatever, but really, really simple. So I just wanted it done. I've done the little corners, and I have to say, guys, that I have discovered Temu and you can get a ton of your craft supplies on Temu for really cheap. And if you don't mind waiting, because here in Canada, it can take 1 to 2 weeks before you get your order. So if you're not in a big hurry, it's well worth it. It's the same stuff that you get everywhere else. It's just cheaper. So I have a bunch of supplies I had before I even discovered Temu. So I didn't need a whole lot, but certain things I use a lot. Like I use these closures a lot, and these are not the Tim Holtz ones, but they work exactly the same way and they're way cheaper. You can get metal pieces like this, corners, dies, stencils, paper. You can get a ton of different things. Anyway, that's my little, kind of advice. Check out Temu. Anyway, this kit is called, okay, let me get this right. It is called Graceful Women of Color. I had it in my store. I no longer have that store. I closed everything when I left YouTube. But if you really like the kit after I show it to you, I can send you a compressed file that you can unpack and use it however you want. At this point, I really don't care. I'm happy to share. So you can leave your email in a comment, or if you're not comfortable with that, in my description on YouTube, I believe my email is there. So you can just email me directly with your email and I can send that to you. Okay, so let's get started here. It's pretty repetitive. It is 3 signatures, so it's a good size. You can do a ton of writing in this. If you followed me over the years, you know that I believe a journal should be a journal and have pages to write in. So that's kind of what I'm about. And the book can go pretty flat, so it shouldn't be too difficult for whoever I end up giving this to write in it. And even if I decide to keep it, I know I can write in it. So a lot of this stuff is the kits. A lot of it isn't. It's from other things that I had in the store, like the ephemera kits and stuff like that. So you might find all those kinds of things aren't included. Anything you see with a lady, they are definitely included. So there's postcards and booklets, tags. This is a different thing. I don't think I included that. This, I put a little booklet in it. I'm just scrap paper. I'm pretty sure I'm the one who did this. I don't know. Maybe somebody gave this to me. Because honestly, I can't, that is my stamp, but I can't see myself using red, but I don't know. No, maybe somebody gave it to me because I don't typically do that either. Anyway, it was adorable, and I love the way, if it was somebody else that did it, how they used up scraps. And if it was me, yay. Okay, so I'm going to go through it pretty quick because, like I say, it's pretty repetitive. We've got some Lindy's embossing powder on the bottom. I love their embossing powder. It's gorgeous. And this is tea stained, I want to say. Might be coffee because it's pretty dark. I use both. Just depends. Some people don't like the coffee, but eventually the smell does go away. And a little tiny envelope with just little notepad paper that I just tea stained. And again, the envelope was part of the ephemera package. Yeah, I love little envelopes. And like I say, anything with the ladies on it, that's in the kit. This is just extra writing paper here. So if I cover a page with like a belly band or something, I will add an extra sheet of writing paper. So you're not really losing any space, and it might be easier to journal on because you can just pull it out and tuck it back in when you're done. All of these too, I'm not sure that they were included. I want to say they weren't. And this flips up. Sorry, my table's really deep, so I'm really leaning in here. I'm hoping it's not jiggling too much for you. Don't you love that? I love that sound. Now, this was a paper pad from the dollar store that I bought years and years ago. And I do little pockets out of it. I just like the little recipe cards. And you can journal in all these little spots, right? It's kind of neat. Little booklet. There's little hidey holes everywhere. And when you flip this one over, it comes up. That's really thick. Oh. And then a couple of tags. This one is the kit. The other one is not. I stamped on the other side too. Anything that I found in my stash that was kind of vintage and had to do with women, I stuck it in there. All these envelopes cover up the center stitching where you join your signatures. So it looks nice and neat. This flips open. There's also a pocket back here. And there's a pocket on this side, and it has a little Tim Holtz stencil on the big index cards that I tea stained. Paper clip, more writing paper, and then this flips up so you can actually write on the whole page, but it has a couple tags tucked in there. I think I included small images, and I just printed them out on sort of a, not matte, but not shiny photo paper. Okay, so this has the flip up, and there's a bunch of little things in here. One being this little, I think I have this punch that will punch out these little guys. Big tag here. And then another kind of, you can use it as a corner pocket. You get 4 of these because there's 4 on one page. And then I just layered a bunch of stuff so that you could have tuck spots. And then there's a postcard in there as well. You know when you wear glasses, I only wear glasses to read. So the problem is, if things aren't close enough, I can't see it. If they're not quite far enough away, I still can't see it. So right now, I have no idea if this is going to work out. I guess you'll know if you're watching the video. Big tag here. I like this one. Another belly band with a mason jar and paper clip. These were on sheets that I bought, I believe, from Joann's many years ago when I still lived in BC. I used to just 15 minutes to the border, so I would go down to Bellingham. Okay, this is, I got this from, boy, I wish I could remember her name, Denise. Yeah, she has an online store, I think an Etsy store. And I bought a bunch of these bags from her. And this one I cut out and, you know, put a piece of parchment and made it sort of a window pane. And then stuck a tag in that. So you can faintly see the image through the bag. And then it also lifts up so you can journal underneath it. I added one of these that, you know, whoever I give it to, they can put it in the book. Now this comes off because I did sort of a fold out like that, so you can journal all the way up, and you can also journal inside if you want. A little difficult, I think, doing that, but anyway, I just used a paper clip to keep that down. I'm not left-handed, so this is a little hard. And then, of course, the postcard. And more writing paper in that pocket. There's this little pocket with a, I did these a long time ago, and just little calendars, mini calendars. I like doing stuff like this where you maybe put a photo on the back and then you can write the date and some little notes beside it about the photo and where it was taken. And this folds up so you can have a writing spot as well. You don't lose it. Now, did this one? No. So you flip this over, you've got a huge tag here that was gifted to me, and I wish I could remember who that was from because it's pretty awesome. This folds up, and then it folds up again. So again, lots of spots. This one is one of those claim check, guest check tag things, vintage. I think I got those at Denise's as well. And this folds open, and again, and it has a pocket with another postcard from, that's those Joanne ones. And then you can write on the back here, another pocket full of ephemera. So you can see there's a lot of pages that I did nothing on because that's what a journal is for, writing. Okay, again, I did this, instead of putting it down below, I did it as a belly band kind of a thing, layered it up. There's the layaway tag. I believe I also got that from Denise's store. I think these are so cool. And then another postcard. I don't even know if Denise still has her store. I haven't done any kind of YouTubing or anything for quite a while. Another giant tag. Now this woman, tell me that does not look like a young Whitney Houston, right? I think it looks so much like her. Another big tag. And another postcard with a guest check. Oh, and this does, I think all of these corner ones do pop up. I don't know, sometimes I go through my books that I did a long time ago and discover things that I did and forgot I did. Yep, that one folds up too. Mason jar and a little booklet. And I did this belly band out of the obviously Admit One tags. These are from Crafty Irina. She sent me a whole whack of them, and I'm just trying to find ways of using them that are creative. And all I did was like I glued it, but I did little tiny attachment from the Tim Holtz. What do you call it? Yep, stapler. So you could tell, people who followed me for a long time, yep, some things never change. And this one has the mason jar, and this is the Tim Holtz die cut, and I think it's the Biggs die, and I cut it out of chipboard, so it's quite thick. Just a paper clip there. So again, another pocket, and there's ephemera in there. This one here is the little bag with the little booklet. Added the tiny, what do they call, tabs? Yeah, tiny tabs. And then that flips up. This this glassine bag, I just ran through another embossing folder, and then, sorry, I got a tickle. I think it's that cream in the little pots, and it's got a shimmer in it. I really like them, but I can't remember what the heck they're called. I made one of these index cards a long time ago. I really love the giant ones, so I thought I would give it a try making my own. And again, ephemera in there. This one has another postcard. And more writing paper in this one. This, I don't know what weight of paper I used for that. It was really thick. And a postcard, and that's it. So that's the book, almost finished. Like I say, just you know, send me an email. Let me know that you'd like the file, and I'll send it to you. So this is your cue to leave. If you're not interested in catching up with me, that's fine. I will not be offended. So for those who have been following me for a really long time, thank you. Appreciate it very much. Um, I get nothing from YouTube. Yeah, when they started changing things around, I just thought, forget it. It is what it is. I just enjoy posting. I love being creative. I love sharing, and I love teaching. So that's why I did it. And the reason I walked away, there's several. One, it's very time consuming, as anybody who posts videos knows. Um, so besides the posting of the videos, I'm creating, my papers and then putting together a full book and then posting it in the store and then trying to fill orders. And yeah, it became a lot. It was taking up a lot of my time. And when Ken retired, I found that I really wanted to just spend time with him and use that time, in a different way. So, not to say that I'm tired of creating. That's never going to happen. However, it did become difficult. I ended up with arthritis pretty bad in my hands, and I was really struggling to do a lot of the things that I love to do. And then Ken's mom, as you know, she ended up getting sick, and she passed away. I can't believe it's 4 years ago now already that she passed away. So she lived with us for almost a year, and then she had to go into palliative care. She died of lung cancer. So a year after that, my mom passed away, and my mom had actually been not well for many years. She had, I think I told you this, that she had the dementia, but hers was concussion dementia brought on by several falls hitting her head and created fluid in her brain, and there was no treating it. So she fell so many times because she had lupus, and she lost the ability to be stable on her legs, and also that you lose the ability to know to catch yourself when you're falling. She didn't know to do that anymore, and she took some pretty good whacks to the head. So she was in a well, no, not palliative. She was in a dementia ward for a number of years, and because it was a slow process for her, the fluid was building up slowly, and she just got worse and worse in her memory. She didn't remember how to do anything. So and then the last part of her life was really hard. She ended up being strapped into a wheelchair for, she couldn't get out of it. She tried to escape a couple times, got stuck a few times. If you knew my mom, you'd laugh, because that would be her 100%. But they kept her that way because she fell 28 times in 1 week alone. And they have little tiny Filipino women working there, and my mom was not a light woman. She became light at the end of her life, but when you're trying to pick up dead weight off the floor, that's a lot. Anyway, it just became too much for them, so they insisted that she had to stay in a wheelchair. And of course, long before that, she had no idea who I was anymore. So, the whole thing is sad, and anybody who's gone through it, they understand. It's, you feel like, I felt in a way more sad when I lost Ken's mom, because we were super close. My mom, I felt like I lost years before that, because she wasn't mom anymore. And plus she lived in another province. I didn't really get to see her. So, yeah, but it was heartbreaking for both of us to lose both, because Ken was close with my mom as well. So we have some wonderful memories, and that's just life, right? I'm not a young woman anymore, so your parents are going to get older, and that's what's going to happen. Anyway, in the meantime, like I say, Ken had retired. I stepped back from YouTube and my business, and we traveled a bit, and we started renovating our home. So that was years. Anybody who renovates a house, they know it's kind of never ending. It just keeps going on and on. And then we got to a point where we realized, we're never going to get our mortgage paid off. I mean, we started late in life, and then interest rates were going way up. We lived in British Columbia, so and we lived in the Lower Mainland, so prices were ridiculous, and interest rates were climbing, and we had a mortgage to renew. We would have been right back from square one, and we'd lived there 15 years. So we decided to make a move, and because our son lived in Alberta for 12 years, we decided we were going to move to Alberta. And if you know anything about British Columbia and then Alberta, the first thing you're going to say is, oh, but they get so much snow. Well, we live in a part where we get Chinooks, and the Chinooks bring good weather, and the snow doesn't last long. Yes, you get cold times like 30 below, like that's Celsius, people. However, it doesn't feel like minus 30 here. If you had -7 Celsius in British Columbia, you would feel colder than minus 30 here. It's so damp in British Columbia, and that just gets right to my bones, and that's what was causing my arthritis. So making the move was the best thing we ever did for both of us. We're not getting any younger, and financially, it was a smart move. We have a house that's paid for. We don't have a mortgage anymore. It's sunny here so many days. I think, we were here for almost a year. We've lived here just over a year. July was a year. And I think just before July, we could count 6 days of rain in that entire year. Now, having said that, this summer we had nothing but rain, but now we're into really good weather. It's been nice and hot, and it's sunny here so much of the time that with the big open skies here, I mean, in where we lived, we had tons of trees, which are beautiful, but between those and the high rises, it blocks out your sky. You see very little. I mean, out here, you just feel like you can breathe. I just absolutely love it here. And the wildlife, and we have deer in our backyard and jackrabbits, and yeah, it's just, we love it. It's much slower pace. We're in kind of a smaller town, not tiny by any means. My one requirement for moving has to have a Costco. So there's a Costco here. And like I say, we're 20 minutes from our son. He's here every week for dinner, and we've just enjoyed it so much, and we're very blessed. So that's probably it. That's our life, and we're really happy with it. And I'm hoping that I will be able to continue to post videos, maybe not as often as I used to, but yeah, occasionally I will, and I might even film my craft room to give you a sneak peek into where I spend a lot of my time just hanging out and enjoying the, getting the sunshine in my window, and yeah, it's peaceful and quiet, and we're really happy. So thanks for tuning in. And I hope to hear some comments from you. And you guys make sure that you enjoy yourselves and, get out there and spend time outside if you can. We will talk again. Bye.